LeDuc. I'm with the Sage Spark team, and we talk to a lot of small businesses that don't use accounting software. A lot of small businesses, especially in the service industry, they don't use accounting software. They tell us not because they don't know it exists. They know it exists, they understand it, but it doesn't really meet their needs. It's just not. They're not doing accounting. They're more focused on really, number one, just getting paid, and then after that, they're interested in sort of staying out of trouble, staying out of jail. So, number one, they need to get their money. And when we talked to them about that, they said, well, the biggest problem wasn't that their customers wouldn't pay them; it was that they had a hard time getting the bill out. That they were really having that was their biggest challenge, and they wanted to look professional. They wanted to be able to manage their financials just at the level of who owes me money and what money have I earned. So really, with Billing Boss, we focus just on solving, getting people their money. So within 5 minutes of visiting this Billing Boss, you can send out your first invoice, and you can send out your first invoice and get paid online. So really, I've already set up an account, but it is very quick. It is very quick to sign up for your own account. I'm going to sign up for one now. Yeah, I'm getting caught by our own. So, very simple. In terms of setting up your account, you just enter your business information, your business name, Tom's Hardware, and 57 Hardware Lane in Thompson, United States, and we will say Mississippi. I wish I knew the zip codes for Mississippi, but I will just make one up. So there, I have set up all the information. Oops, just how did I hear about Billing Boss? Heard about it from my accountant, Tom. So I've now set up my company. If I have taxes, if I have sales taxes that I collect, I can set it up for, let's set up Mississippi. And we'll say Mississippi has a 6% sales tax. And if I have a company logo, I can go ahead and set that up. And if I have an online payment processor, you can use PayPal. It's obviously very, very popular. But we also offer merchant accounts through Sage Payment Solutions and through Beanstream, which allow your customers to pay you online. So I've set up my account, and now I'm going to create my first invoice. So I'm going to create a new customer, Robert Hansen, and set up a contact, and give him an email address, rob@hansen.xx. And really, that's all I need to do there. Set up the customer, and now for the invoice, I'm going to charge Rob for 40 ratchet lessons. And we'll make that 40 hours of ratchet lessons. At $30 an hour. And there, I've saved my invoice, and I'm going to send it. So Rob I can add her a personal message to Rob in this case. I can also select what language I want to send to, and this is particularly important with small businesses starting today. These are young businesses, and they tend to work with young businesses. Many are immigrants, and when you're working with when your customer speaks a different language or may be more comfortable in a different language, you want to be able to communicate them with the language they're most comfortable in. So in this case, Spanish, Korean, Portuguese. you can send the invoice in the language that they prefer, but still work in the language you're most comfortable in. So there, I've sent the invoice. Actually, I was gonna look some of the options there. You can also include the invoice as a PDF in the document, so that they have, it feels like paper. People like PDF, or you can just include a link and sort of encourage them to view the invoice online and perhaps pay it online. So at this point, I've sent the invoice, and now it's an outstanding invoice. And this is really important. It takes the business owner now can see at a glance what's going on with their business in terms of in terms of getting paid. You know, who they've sent invoices to but haven't heard from, who's overdue, what invoices they put together but they haven't sent out yet, and then at the bottom any invoices that have been paid. So if the customer views the invoice online, they can actually it can actually be paid automatically, and they receive notification. But look, in this case, I see on this invoice that I sent it to this, and oops, the invoice actually bounced. That email address was incorrect. So that's handy. I receive email notification of that as well. But now, so I'm going to say that only about 20% of the time currently, it's a growing number, but 20% of the time people receive payments online when they give the option. A lot of the time people still prefer to send checks, and a lot of people prefer to receive checks because it might be a little cheaper. So a lot of time they'll receive checks, and if they receive a check, then they can just mark it paid here, and they've received a check, and then this will marks the invoice as paid, and now it shows up in the paid list on the invoice list. Now this also makes it simple for them to work with an accountant, because it can be difficult for a small business that many times doesn't have any employees and very often works in a service industry and very small. It can be difficult for them to find an accountant, because many times accountants don't want to work with these people. They might not be very profitable clients. They may not give a lot of billable hours, and they may not keep very good records, and there might be a little more work to deal with. So on one side, we help by providing better tools for keeping track of where their businesses are, so that they don't write out an invoice and not record it anywhere and send it out and then maybe not get paid. So you can invite your bookkeeper to view the information in Billing Boss online directly, so that the accountant can see the data right at the source, and even see updates as they go on. And they can then the accountant can actually see the reports around what's been paid, what's outstanding, and can produce the appropriate tax filing documents. Because a lot of small businesses just really don't want to deal with that stuff. Obviously, if the small business is preparing this themselves, they have all the reports they need to do this. That's the payment report, and this is the invoice report, and just gives good breakdowns of what taxes they've collected, so that they can submit their tax reports to their sales tax authorities. Other than that, it's there's the customer list, and you can maintain your customers in here and import and export through CSV and all the data. But really, we focused on just keeping this as simple as possible, and focusing just on what these small businesses need to get paid. So really, at the top level, that's really all there is to Billing Boss. It's free, and we encourage people to use it to send as many invoices as they like. We don't have any limitations on that, and we hope people find it useful.